playoffs and everything else, and let that play out as it will.
Grizzlies with the impressive victory over Highland last week. And Jack Snowball, career-high 6 touchdowns, rushed for 291 yards. And the Wadsworth senior class avoided becoming the first in school history never to defeat Highland. And looking at the Jack Snowball watch, here's a couple of things. Snowball needs 169 yards tonight for 2,000 on the season, and he would become just the second Wadsworth Grizzly running back to go over 2,000 in a season. Drew Jones did it in 2007 with 2,281 yards. So we'll see what happens in that category, but we're getting ready to go here. Chester Foth going to kick it off, and it's a squibber to the 30, and it's fumbled by Evan Dalzell, and the Knights recover it at about the 28-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, talking to Coach Dennison today, one of the interesting things to be watching for tonight is all kinds of stuff on their Nordonia special teams. Coach said they do all kinds of crazy stuff with the special teams, and that's one of the reasons I think the Grizzlies are going to squib kick here on kickoffs.
Here's the look at the Nordonia offense. Last couple games, they've been running the triple option, which has been highly effective as they have scored 41 points over the last 2 games, which is something, because I'll tell you in a minute, as junior quarterback Tyler Alders goes under center, and he's going to toss it to the left. And right there is Nick Miller to bring down number 6, Jawan Peterson, the senior running back.
Yep, and you mentioned offensively they will run option, and they like to run a veer option where they're going to fake to the running back, and the running back's going to go over the tackle, and then the quarterback is probably their best runner. Tyler Alders likes to carry the ball a lot, but then they've got a pitch man going out there on the perimeter as well. So Grizzlies are expecting to see quite a lot of that tonight.
Nordonia defeated the Cloverleaf Colts by 2 points last week, and Alders was Nordonia's leading rusher. He flares one out high to number 29, Alex Alders, his younger brother and a freshman, who is somewhat of a player. I hear they've started using him in more of their offensive packages the last couple of games, and things have happened, so they've brought him up here to varsity, and he's doing well.
Yeah, we mentioned they've won 2 of their last 3, and that's one of the things Coach Dennison commented on. This is a team that's gotten better, and they've kind of found some more things that work offensively, and Alex Alders is one of those new pieces that's been worked in throughout the season.
Yeah, they've scored 41 points 2 games ago, 17 in a loss to Highland, 24 in the win over Cloverleaf. Rolling it out is Alders, and it's incomplete. That one was intended for number 3, Nick Rodriguez, a standout defensive player for the Knights, but they're going to punt it away. Now, the reason I mentioned 41 points that they've scored their last 2 games, how about this? In their first 6 games, the Knights, all losses, scored a total of 20 points. And there's a crazy play that has a wide open Austin Petit, the senior wide receiver, got it, and they take it inside the red zone to the 16-yard line. There's what you were talking about.
Yeah, one of the other things that I guess we didn't mention is, Nordonia has nothing to lose here. They're going to play wide open. They're going to take chances, and you saw them take one right there and capitalize on a fake punt, and they're going to have the ball here in great field position now on the Grizzlies' 17-yard line.
Nice play there by the Knights. Well, the Knights come in averaging 7.6 points a game on the season. I mentioned that they scored a total of 20 points in their first 6 games. And in week 7, a win, they won 7-0. 10 minutes remaining, first half. Little option pitch flies up in the air, and it's picked up out of the air and taken to the 26-yard line. And it looks like it was
Edwards.
Yep, C.J. Edwards, the senior defensive back.
Yeah, we're going to get a replay. Here's the veer option. They're going to fake the handoff right here inside. Quarterback's coming out. He's going to see if he's got room to run, and that time it's just an errant pitch. And you always want to make a soft pitch right there. And then C.J. Edwards is Johnny on the spot, does a good job catching the ball and getting a few yards. So just like that, the Grizzlies have thwarted the threat, and now they have the ball and they're in business.
So we do have the junior Alec at quarterback. Behind him, Boffman Snowball, play action fake, going one-on-one for Simi, jumping up and intercepting it, and going the other way with it will be the Knights.
Well, we'll see who came up because that really was a nice job.
Yeah, that was
number
Nick
7.
Rodriguez, number 3.
Yeah, Nick Rodriguez, 5'8", 157-pound senior. He made a nice play on the ball and really did a nice job staying in coverage there.
Honorable mention all-district player as a junior, a 2-sport star, averaged more than 10 points per game on the basketball team, did Rodriguez. Had 3 interceptions in the win against Revere in week 7, and there he adds another one. As Rodriguez is a ball hawk there at that cornerback position. He'll get a lot of interceptions, so 1st and 10 for the Knights. And this run by Jawan Peterson into Wadsworth territory.
Yeah, Jawan Peterson, 5'7", 178 pounds. Going into the teeth of the Grizzly defense. Looks like Nick Tavanello brought him down. But a nice pickup there on 1st down, gained about 4 yards.
So back to my point about the points scored. First 6 games for the Knights, all losses, total of 20 points. Week 7, they won, beat Revere 7-0. So through 7 games, they had scored a total of 27 points. And then they've scored 41 the last 2 weeks total. This is Peterson again. Looks close to a 1st down, maybe a yard short. And as we mentioned, since starting 0-6, the Knights have won 2 of their last 3, but they've been shut out 3 times and scored 7 or less points in 3 other of their losses.
And if fans wonder how does that happen? How do you go from that bad to all of a sudden scoring points? And of course, some of that has to do with who you're playing, but also some of that is coaches find their way as the season progresses. They start finding things that work and pieces that fit, and that's what you probably saw there.
It's 3rd and 1.
A nice pickup, the 1st down right there, and just like we're seeing here as they start out, John. I mean, this does not look like a football team with that bad a record. And when I talked to Coach Dennison today, said how are they? He said they're probably a lot better than you might think if you just look at their record, and I can see he's right.
Well, we haven't seen the quarterback Alders run with it yet in the win against Cloverleaf last week. 154 yards on 16 carries. Alders lowers the shoulder, and Nick Miller there again to stop him, the senior defensive tackle.
Yeah, and he really is. You're going to catch the replay here. Alders really is their weapon running from the quarterback spot. That's why they like to get that veer option going with him, and they like him to keep it on that option. But right there, he drops back to pass, and the Grizzlies get a great push up the middle, and Nick Miller does a great job of getting to him. So it's 2nd and long. Good screen draw down right here.
Replay looked like to have a little black and white mixed in with it there. I'm not sure if that's my monitor or what.
Going old school up here.
Alders hands off to Peterson. Grizzlies stop it.
And he's running hard, though. He did a nice job picking up about 5 yards right there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now. And again, with the idea that Nordonia's got nothing to lose, John, they might go for it on 4th down. They might be thinking 2 downs here.
Yep, well, and back to one more point about Nordonia's scoring woes. They did score 10 unanswered points in the 3rd quarter against the Colts last week, and they took a 17-16 lead in that 3rd quarter. It was only the 2nd time the Knights have led in a ball game this season. Alders to throw, looking over the middle in trouble, gets out of the trouble, and down to the 35-yard line, about 4 yards short of a 1st.
Yeah, and that's a nice pickup if they're going to go for it here. Now they've got a 4th and about 4 or 5. And this is what he does best. He's a great runner, and you can see he sets up. He might abandon the pocket a little quick right there, but look what he knows he can run. And he's a big kid. He's 192 pounds, 6'2", and they're going to go for it here.
It'll be 4th and 4 on the 35. Alders hit as he throws, jumping up. Nick Rodriguez with the catch.
Boy, what a nice catch by Nick Rodriguez, really going up to catch that ball, and Tyler Alders doing a nice job just dropping back there and throwing a dart. It was a little high, but his receiver bailed him out right there, and Nick came out with a big catch, and Nordonia's in business. And John, there's 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, clock counting here in the first quarter. Nordonia's controlling the football.
Play action fake there. Alders throwing up high, and it was intended for number 4, Nick Rezick.
Yeah, that was a good job. Clay Smalley, I think, is in their corner spot. Did a great job coming off his guy, and Reed just playing the football and flashing right there in front of the receiver before the ball got there to disrupt that pass play. So nice job there.
Smalley in there, I take it, with Wise being out, switching around the defense a little bit.
Chester Foth is at the free safety spot now. So they did do a little shuffling there with John Kuss out.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 21. Toss to Peterson. He fumbles it. And coming in and hitting hard was Byron Brown, but Peterson able to corral it in.
Now these are the types of things, the turnovers and getting the ball on the turf. Those are the types of things that I'm sure have plagued Nordonia this year, and they were fortunate to get that one back, but it does set them back to 3rd down now and 14. So see if the Grizzly defense can come up with a stop and get that ball back here.
And the defense did play a great game last week, containing Scholl. I guess you could call it containing.
Yeah, because you're not going to stop him. Yep.
In the shotgun, 3rd and 14 on the 25, the Knights have it. Alders showing the arm strength to the 15.
Yeah, he's going to
Rodriguez. It was Rodriguez again. What a player.
Yeah, it's kind of neat watching them play. They're just letting it all hang out, and looks like they're going to try a field goal here. But again, anything can happen with their special teams. They've got all kinds of different stuff that they make you prepare for with special teams, John.
Junior Ryan Bauer, the kicker, did make a 32-yarder last week in the win over Cloverleaf. This is also a 32-yarder, and he boots it up, and no good. They're going to say wide to the left for Ryan Bauer. So after making a 32-yarder last week, misses this one. Had he made it, would have been the 3rd time the Knights have had a lead in a game this season.
Yeah, he had plenty of leg, but wide left. Now, Grizzlies 3 minutes, 53 seconds, most of the first quarter gone. The Grizzlies are going to have to put a drive together and get this thing moving and play Grizzly football, control the clock, ground and pound, and get some points on the board now.
And they've got Rodriguez over there again, one-on-one with Mitch Gordon this time. Now Gordon moves to the slot on the right. Handoff, snowball, huge hole in the middle. Cuts it around the outside, stiff arms a defender, and tiptoes out of bounds at the 39.
Yeah, that's what the Grizzlies are going to have to do now. Let their offensive line take over. Let Jack Snowball take over. Start setting the tempo of this game. And there you go. First carry, big hole. Jack does a nice job and gets down the sidelines, and nice pick up there. And looking at Nordonia defensively, John, they go from a 4-4, 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers behind them.
Snowball again, looking to kick it outside to the left. He does. And he's off to the races again to the 35. He slides out of bounds.
Yep, 2 good carries here for Jack. And again, the 4-4 defense, 8 men automatically in the box, and they can, really, I'm sure we're going to see it. They haven't done it yet, but they're going to start loading the line of scrimmage and trying to get some more bodies up around there if this Grizzly running attack continues to hurt them.
And Jack Snowball over 3,000 yards on his career coming into this one. He's, again, needed 169 on the night to reach 2,000 for the season. He'd be only the 2nd Grizzly to do that. This is that trap handoff to Boffman. Nothing there for Bret, the team's leading tackler from his inside linebacker spot.
Yeah, and the other play that I'm sure we'll see tonight is that fake toss to the fullback. Coach likes to run that against the even front defenses like this 4-4 right here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Boffman break a few of those tonight.
Another note on Jack Snowball, Roger. He has 242 career points, which ties him with Paul Macco for second on the career list in points scored. So, assuming Jack will hit pay dirt tonight, he will become the second all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun watching him amass all these yards and touchdowns and everything, especially after the adversity that he had last year with the injuries.
2:20 remaining first quarter. Wadsworth at the Nordonia 29. Snowball on the toss left. First down to the 20. Going to see a lot of power running.
Yeah,
tonight.
nice carry, and just like we were saying here, with that 4-4 look, that time they had both outside linebackers walked right up on the line of scrimmage, but the Grizzlies still able to run outside and get the first down right there. So Grizzlies doing what they need to do now. 1:50 left in the first quarter, and they're on the march here. Ball's on the 20-yard line.
Hoffman inside the 15-yard line. Bret came in with 299 yards rushing on the season, so he's over 300 now and second-year starter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see have a nice game tonight at the fullback spot again. That's the fake toss that they like to run. He'll carry that, and he'll carry the trap, that inside trap.
Well, and he's got a lot to do with the season Jack Snowball has had, does Bret Hoffman. Snowball to the 5-yard line, but you know, under Coach Jennison, Roger, since 1995, that offense that he likes to run, Wadsworth's had all those 1,000-yard rushers, and each one of them always had a good fullback in front of them.
Absolutely, a good fullback and a good offensive line, and you know, Boffman's just done a great job. He had a great game last week against Thailand, the fullback spot, and just an outstanding blocker.
45 seconds left. Toss Snowball right. Looking to get through. Powers his way to the 1.
They're very, very close here to a touchdown. But, you know, you see the linemen, Tavanello and Mackey and Hamblin and Paladar, Roberts, the tight end, Simi. I mean, they've just done a great job. Perry, just some great blockers up front. And, again, Jack Snowball will be the first to tell you. He gives a lot of credit to those guys.
15 seconds left, first quarter and counting. And they'll give it to Jack, and he goes left, center, and in. Touchdown, Wadsworth. And that will give Jack Snowball his 25th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yep, and that's a great job. I'm going to see the replay here, and the Grizzlies just getting physical. We mentioned Boffman. There's a great block right there by the fullback, leading right through isolation on the linebacker. And that's your goal when you're blocking. You always want to drive your guy into the end zone, and he did.
Extra point by Smalley is up and through, and Clay Smalley back in there again, kicking the extra points after a great game last week. The game against Highland, Clay Smalley made 7 extra points, and that tied a school record. Clay Smalley, the son of Ursuline College track and field coach Steve Smalley.
Yeah, he did an outstanding job last week, and I think you know, he go for 7 for 7, and you know, prove you can kick all these extra points, and you know, that'll get you some more playing time. So great job there by Clay.
The Nordonia Knights head coach is Al Hughey in his 4th season at Nordonia. He's 13 and 27 overall, and Nordonia had a tough time in that Northeast Ohio Conference Valley Division the last couple of years. They went 4-16 and 0-10 in the conference the last couple of years, but they've got to be relieved. They've moved to a much more competitive league for them, the Suburban League, as Foth Squibbs won to the 21-yard line, and it's number 43, Nick Grayson, on the return. But Knights got to be relieved they don't have to play the likes of Solon, Strongsville, Menor, Brunswick, Twinsburg, Those are the teams they had to face as they got moved into that big school division the last couple of years. But that's the depth of those schools that a team like Nordonia and even Wadsworth would have a hard time competing against, because they are smaller Division I schools.
Yeah, those are big schools and certainly very talented. But boy,
Mentor are one of the biggest schools in the state.
In the state of Ohio, yeah.
And they are awesome. Last play of the first quarter is a run up the middle for not much, and we are at the end of the first with the score: Wadsworth 7, the Knights 0. So the Grizzlies just looking to get out of here with the win tonight. And,
John, talk a little bit about some of the players that have come out of Nordonia. That's pretty impressive. When
I do have
you and I were talking before the game
about Coach Hughie in his 4th year. He's a 1984 graduate of the Nordonia Knights, and he was the defensive coordinator on their 2002 Division II state runner-up team. But you talk about some of the players among their alumni, and guard Rob Sims of the Detroit Lions.
Former Buckeye, Ohio State Buckeye.
Former Cleveland Brown and now Miami Dolphin linebacker Jason Trusnick. And there's another younger fella on the Dallas Cowboys now. His name escapes me. He was an undrafted free agent for them. So Delkowski or Stilowski, something like that. I can't remember, but yeah.
And then the
3 players in the NFL now from Nordonia.
Defensive back from Northwestern.
Yeah, Maben. Well, he'll probably be in the NFL as well. He's a good player.
Yep, I think we
see a fumble call. Yep. Wadsworth saying they've got it. And let's see.
The referees, I think, are going to say he was down before the ball came out there. Yep. So pick up of about 3 yards there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 3. Yeah, but they have had, that's an impressive lift when you think of some of the players that they've had come through this program.
Third and 3 for the Knights. Tyler Alders, junior quarterback, surveying Wadsworth's defense. Now he's ready. Fake and option pitch. Number 12, it's Jordan Nobles, a sophomore. And he gets a good chunky yardage off of that. And there's that triple option offense that's
yeah, when you play defense against the option, John, you've got to play assignment football, and that means every part of that option's accounted for. The dive, the quarterback, and the pitch. Your perimeter players pick up the quarterback and the pitch. Your inside players, like your linebackers and defensive linemen, take the dive. And right there, whoever had pitch responsibility got hung up, and they got a nice gain.
So a first down on the Wadsworth 42. And that is...
And fullback Pretovic.
Yeah, 44, Ryan Pretovic, the senior fullback, and he's another good one on this team. Pretovic, a tough, hard-hitting player, both sides of the ball. Honorable mention all-district last year. An exceptional lead blocker, and among the Knights' top tacklers as an inside linebacker is Pretovic. But
he's a big kid, 6'1", 225 pounds.
If they're going to get this option going, Alders looking over at the coach's hand signals on a 2nd and 7 play. Alders keeps it himself to the 26-yard line, but
yeah, that's interesting what they're doing there too, as we've seen other teams doing this year, John. They'll get up to the line, and then they'll look at the coaches, and I think the coaches are getting, some advice from their coaches in the press box that look at what the Grizzlies are in, and then they're going to help them with that play call, and get them going which way they want them to go.
And that's a tough offense to defend, and it's tough to simulate it and practice. And when you got a triple threat option like that, those runs off tackle can be a little confusing. And when you overplay the handoff, you can fake it, hit the edges.
Yeah.
And there's Alders.
And
he's the 30.
He's their biggest threat there, and that's what the Grizzlies don't want. when you play this triple option, if he's your biggest threat, then you better make sure whoever's got that quarterback responsibility is taking that responsibility and cutting down the room. But yeah, you're right. It's easier said than done sometimes, because it's easy to get caught up in the dive when you're supposed to play the quarterback, or it's easier to get caught up in the quarterback when you're supposed to take pitch.
And they used that option last week to gain almost 300 yards, 298 rushing as a team last week in the win over the Colts. Alders keeps it again, and Alders had, let's see, I mentioned 154 yards, but 3 touchdowns for Alders as well. Runs of 3 yards, 46 yards, and 58 yards. So a couple long ones there. He can break them if he gets in the open field.
Yeah, you can tell he's got that running ability. And the other thing that they're doing with this option attack is they are taking time off the clock and shortening the game, which is, if you're an underdog, like the Knights are, that's a good strategy.
Well, and you keep the Grizzlies off the field, a team, Wadsworth, averaging 35 points a game. Here's a throw, pops up in the air, incomplete, intended for 29, Alex Alders, the younger brother of quarterback Tyler.
Yeah, good hit over there by Winkler right here. Again, this ball's sailing high, and we've seen a couple of those passes tonight from Nordonia just highlight that, kind of hanging the receiver up, and the Knights are fortunate that didn't turn it into an interception, because once Winkler delivered the hit, that ball popped straight up in the air. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7 right here.
And Tyler Alders to throw. He's hit as he throws, and it's caught for a touchdown. Austin Petit, the senior wide receiver, open on a little slant right in front of the end zone. Alders got rid of it, then was hit. It looked like the hit was by, was it Tavanello?
Yeah, it looked like he's getting the pressure, but they just go a little play action, and then he just runs a post. He's right into the middle of the field right here, and there he is. I mean, it's just, he's wide open, and that's one of the things where we say you missed John Cush there at the free safety spot.
Extra point up and good by number 80, Ryan Bauer. So the Knights tie it up with 8:35 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, great play. And again, it's hard. The Grizzlies had to, due to injuries, namely to John Cush there, you got to shuffle the secondary around, and then people are playing in positions they haven't had a lot of experience in yet. So, there's that whole learning curve again. And although you're working in practice, you never get the same game simulation. So there's an adjustment period there as you look at the Knight cheerleaders throwing some plastic footballs up to the Nordonia fans. There's a few folks claiming to be open, calling for the ball. So back to square one, 7-7.
Yeah, Knights, Nordonia, a school known for its tailbacks. Who was that? After Maben was that John Hamilton. We saw him play.
He was good. I remember him.
He played as a senior when they beat us here.
He was very good.
Back in 08, yep.
He was very good, yep. So they've done a nice job tonight. And again, this does not look like a football team with a losing record here. They've done some nice things, and they're playing hard. And I'll tell you, give credit to Coach Al Hughey, because these guys are good.
Caught at the 22-yard line. And
a little pop-up kick right there.
That was Campbell on the return. Scott Campbell, the sophomore tailback. Well, and the Knights had a brutal non-conference schedule early in the season. That helps you later on in the season. They had to play Division II state champion Maple Heights in game 1. Lost that one 41-7. Then they played regional semifinalist Twinsburg in game 2. Lost that one 38-7. That's going to be an early movement on, I believe, the fullback for Wadsworth there. He looked to leave a little before the snap.
Yeah, I think that Play was just a little out of sync there from the start.
See, then the Knights played in Game 3, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, lost that one 29-0. Lost to Green 23-0. Lost to Copley 14-6. Lost to Talmadge 17-0. And then finally got their first win week 7 at Revere. They won 7-0.
Yeah.
So first and 15 now. Snowball. Nice job there by the defense, flushing him out of bounds at the 32.
Yeah,
So,
but a decent pickup here for the Grizzlies. Now it's going to leave them, oh, looks like about 9 yards to go here for a first down. So a nice pickup.
Snowball now 78 yards. That last scoring drive for Wadsworth was 9 plays, 5 first downs. Snowball 7 carries, 72 yards, now 78 on that 6-yard carry. And Jack hit from behind at the 35 on a great tackle by Evan Dalzell, the junior outside linebacker, 6 foot, 180 pounds.
Yeah, Dalzell, we mentioned the outside backers are walked right up on the line of scrimmage, so it really makes that defense look like a 6'2". But there he came off the block and came from behind, and Jack did a good job just securing the football right there as the Grizzlies now have a 3rd and 5.
Snowball fights for the extra yardage and a first down to the 41.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a nice tackle by Nick Rodriguez right there, who found himself one-on-one, and had Nick failed to make that tackle, Jack may have taken that one all the way. That was the last line of defense. So, although the Grizzlies did get a first down, credit Nick Rodriguez, number 3 there for the Knights, for a great tackle.
Yeah, coming into the season, the muscle on this team was on defense, and really Rodriguez, the only defensive skill player returning at that cornerback position. Couple of fakes. Alec gonna throw it open over the middle is Seamy at the 45 to the 36. Nick Seamy, a great couple of play fakes there to get Seamy open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and as the season has played out for the Grizzlies, Nick Seamy really more and more has become the go-to guy in the passing game, and we've seen him make some fabulous plays this year, and does a nice job running after he catches the football. A nice pickup right there.
First completion of the night for Wadsworth. Back to Jack Snowball we go. And to the 33-yard line he goes. That catch by Seamy, his 12th of the season, which leads the Grizzlies.
And Grizzlies now moving, balls on about the 34-yard line, and 6 minutes left here in the half.
You may want to work on in-game passing game here tonight with the playoffs coming up next week. You're going to need it.
Yeah, and nobody knows the status of John Kuss and when he'll be back, and so Matt Alec just getting more comfortable, more confident here.
There goes to Boffman to the 30. The two fullbacks, Boffman and Predovic, head-to-head there. Predovic a little slow to get up.
there's a meeting between two warriors right there, Bret Boffman and Ryan Predovic, and that was a collision there.
About 440 pounds between the two of them.
Yeah, coming right at each other, yes. So a bit of a truck crash right there.
3rd and 2. Jack Snowball just jumps over the pile to the 25 for another first down.
Yeah, going right at the heart of the Nordonia defense right there, much to the chagrin of the Nordonia coaches. Another Grizzly first down.
96 yards now on the night for Jack Snowball. 5 minutes remain first half. Snowball gonna run out of the backfield, little swing pass out to him. And Knight's pretty quick to cut off the edges. Here it is. They
were, but this is the equivalent of a pitch or an outside run. You get him on the move, you get the ball in his hands in space, And that's a nice pass there by Alec. Puts a nice touch on the ball, leads him a little bit so he can catch it on the run. And a nice pickup there on first down.
And that was Jack Snowball's 4th reception of the season. Snowball gets the toss, all kinds of room, heading for the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Jack Snowball, a 23-yarder. And he is over 100 for the night.
Yeah, I mentioned that their outside linebackers are walked up, so look what he does right there. He just dips out, and then he dips back in, and he created seams in there. Nice blocks by the offensive line and fullback Bret Boffman, and he is off to the races and on his way over, well over 100 yards for this game.
Yep, 119 now unofficially for Jack, and 26 rushing touchdowns on the season. Smalley with the extra point. It is through. He's made 9 in a row last couple of games here, and
like we have an injured player here.
We have an injured Nordonia player, so Jack Snowball now needing just 50 yards to hit the 2,000 mark on the season. He seems to be writhing in pain. Can't catch the number.
Yeah, looks like a big lineman there. Looks like maybe the knee or
stepped on or rolled it or something.
Boy, I can't get over. We were at this stadium a few years ago when the Grizzlies played here, and they have just done a beautiful job on this.
The old one was actually right behind where we're sitting now, and
it is night and day, isn't it? This is just a very nice facility. Both the visitor stands and the home stands, very nice. As you
makes it look beautiful on television.
As you look at the Nordonia player there, who's number 53.
It's Ben Helkowski, a junior linebacker.
Good to see him walking off there, but yeah, just the nice field turf, the lighting, the scoreboard, walking underneath. They had a nice team shop and concessions, and it's a very, very nice facility here.
It's almost like a big jumbotron on that scoreboard. We haven't seen anything on it. Maybe we should have provided them with a feed. Foth line drives one, hits at the 20, and it's fielded at the 11. And stopped at the 27, 28-yard line is the returnman. He was number 29, Alex Alders, the freshman.
Another big hit there on special teams by Byron Brown. Byron's delivered a couple big hits tonight there on the kickoff team. And in addition to the nice facilities, great hospitality here by the Nordonia folks. Nice press box up here, and a few chicken wings before the game, which is always nice.
All right, the Knights are out, ready to go. 1st and 10 on their own 28. 4:25 left first half. And a nice fake by Alders. He keeps it. And a first down rushing. Stop. There's Byron Brown. Here's the fake and the run.
Alder does a good job on this one, too, to hold on to the football. You're going to see Byron Brown coming in from behind right here and grabbing at that thing, but he protects it.
That's
nice
what
pickup.
I was talking about earlier. When you overplay the handoff, Alders fakes the exchange and hits the edges. That's what he did right there.
Yeah, and although you coach the defense to play assignment football, it's hard because sometimes they think the fullback has the ball and he doesn't.
Like this, here's a pitch back to number 12, Jordan Nobles, the sophomore, and Grizzlies were there to stop that one.
Yeah, and that's what the Grizzlies would like to do right there. Just whatever you do, force Alder to do it quick, make him make a pitch, then everybody can run to the football, and you know, but you really do have to be disciplined, and you just think, if my responsibility is the fullback, I'm going to tackle the fullback. If he takes that fake, It's my job to tackle him. If you got the quarterback, you think no matter what happens with the fullback, my job is to stay on the quarterback. And you really have to play disciplined football. If your job's to pitch, you have to stay on the pitch.
2nd and 9, a gain of 1. Pitch to Noble's left side. And then Tyler Perry there.
We're going to have a hold out there on the perimeter on number 4, Nick Resnick. That's why that pitch was that open.
In for Rodriguez. Petit, the wide receiver that scored the Knights touchdown.
Yeah, they got 2nd and a mile here again. Screen draw if they have it.
Second and 17. This time on the handoff, the fullback does have it. Gets to the 40, so it'll be 3rd and 12.
One of the things different with the Grizzly defense tonight, you see Tyler Perry playing more in the middle. He's usually an outside linebacker. Because of the switching around they have to do because of the loss of Ryan Wise. See Tyler in there a little bit more towards the inside of the field of the defense. Miller playing more on the perimeter tonight. And some looks.
Alders the throw over the middle. There's Rodriguez at the 40 for a first down to the 35. And Nick Rodriguez doing a lot.
Yeah, they do a nice job here. The Grizzlies come with pressure. You're going to see Simi coming from the outside. Tavanello was inside of him, but boy, just all the credit is in the world there to Tyler Alders. He hangs in there, he finds his receiver, he throws a strike. So the Knights on the move here. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go before half.
Quarterback Tyler Alders now 6 for 9 for 75 yards and a touchdown through the air. So Knights passing it a little more, as last week quarterback Tyler Alders was just 2 of 6 for 18 yards. He's already 6 of 9 for 75 tonight.
Yeah, their offense has done a nice job, John. They mix it up between run and pass. They've done both effectively here at times. They've had a struggle with some, the ball hitting the turf a couple times early in the game, but seem to settle down with that. They're on the move here. They've got 1 minute 22 seconds left, plenty of time. Try to tie this thing up before halftime.
Yep, 1:22 left. So
yeah, again, they don't play like a team that's only won a couple games this year.
2 and 7, and
they've been impressive tonight. They've taken some chances. They did the fake punt and got a big gain on the fake punt.
Well, and they, like I said, last couple of years, Nordonia was beat up pretty good in the Northeast Ohio Conference Valley division, and a good chunk of that team has graduated. And the Knights are just kind of feeling out the Suburban League now, and I hear they have a loaded freshman class ready to contribute.
Yeah, and just looking over their roster, you do see they've got some young players, some freshmen and sophomores that are getting some valuable playing time.
And 2nd and 12 on the 37, 1:22 left in the first half. Alders gets it quickly, goes to his right, throws it in traffic, and it's intercepted by Chester Foff, and he returns it to the 42, so about a 7-yard return.
All right, big play here now for the Grizzlies. Chester Foss is going to make a nice play on this tip ball. He's coming in right here, and Alders kind of throws off his back foot. The ball got ricocheted, and Chester Foss did a great job concentrating, catching the football. And now tables are turned here, 1 minute 14 left. The Grizzlies have a chance to maybe get another score, get in field goal range.
5th interception of the season for Chester Foth, leads the Grizzlies in that category. Alec to throw. Out there is Winkler, and Winkler kind of had to break that pass up himself, so it wasn't intercepted again by Nick Rodriguez.
Yeah, he did a nice job. That's one of those situations where the receiver actually turns into the defensive back, and he's going to knock that ball down. But the Grizzlies trying to set up on that little swing pass, little fake. They ran Jack Snowball out there hoping to freeze the corner. But the corner did not freeze right there, and he dropped, stayed deeper than the deepest, and almost came up with an interception.
1:07 to play first half. Stretch handoff there to Snowball, and he maybe got 2.
Yeah, not much there, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. The clock sits right at 1 minute to go here before halftime.
Another timeout.
Timeout, talk about things.
Give us a chance to maybe look at a couple of things. Last week's scores, as far as Wadsworth opponents are concerned. There, Wadsworth got some points from Ashland, some points from Worcester, and some points from Greene. So Wadsworth staying in that number 5 spot. There's virtually really no chance of Wadsworth moving up into the top 4 and getting a home game next week. So we will be greeting you from somewhere. Where we can't tell you. We've heard that the likeliness could be Glen Oak, Hudson, as long as it's not one of those Toledo teams.
Sylvania, Southview,
right.
or Whitmer. A couple hours away, but wherever it is, we'll be there.
We'll see. It's an incomplete pass intended for Foth there.
Yeah, a little screen, it looks like, but Nordonia had that covered well, so 4th down, and the Grizzlies are going to punt this thing away.
Yeah, we'll probably know by tomorrow afternoon who the Grizzlies will be playing. But
to coach today, too, and he said also, I guess some of it will be determined by the Massillon-McKinley winner as well. So.
Right, we'll maybe second half take a look at those top 8 in the computer points. As Foth punts one away, and fair catch called for, interestingly, by Alex Alders. He had plenty of running room there, but maybe not wanting to make a mistake. Yeah, McKinley sits 7th in the points, Massillon 9th. So the winner of that one's probably going to be in. And then you see where they get positioned, because either one of them may get a good amount of points. Massillon 6-3, McKinley 7-2. There you look at the currently before tonight's games.
So
we're hearing Glen Oak could drop even with a win, because the teams below them are playing opponents that'll give them more points. Thus, Wadsworth. Wadsworth could win this game. You're not going to get any points, of course, from the Knights. You like some help from the teams you've beaten, but Wadsworth could drop with a win. They could drop to 6 or 7, and you end up playing number 2 or number 3, which could be Glen Oak, Hudson, Sylvania, Southview.
Yeah, so you really just have to wait until the game Saturday.
And tune in, depending how far the game is away, what time that game will be on WCTV Saturday night. If it's in our general region, it'll be on normal time, more than likely it'll be on 11 o'clock Friday night. If we're heading to Toledo, look for 2 a.m. Or better yet, wake up and watch it at 9 a.m. the next day. That'll be the end of the first half. Wadsworth leads at 14-7 on a pair of Jack Snowball rushing touchdowns. We'll take this break, sit back, relax, and back for the second half. Knights and the Grizzlies in a good one. 14-7, Wadsworth leads it. Here's the first half statistics for the Knights. 8 first downs, 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. They had 1 penalty for 8 yards, and they had 168 total yards of offense, which is 10 more than the Grizzlies. The Knights had 22 carries for 93 yards, and quarterback Tyler Alders was 6 of 10 for 75 yards. Alders was also the leading rusher, 7 carries, 32 yards. And
we'd also like to thank the Macedonia Police Department.
What else we got here?
For all their
On a fake punt, the punter threw a pass, so one of those receptions goes to him. Wadsworth 9 first downs. One interception was thrown. One penalty for 5 yards, so only 2 penalties that first half. Been a relatively clean game. 158 total yards of offense, 133 on the ground for Wadsworth, 25 through the air. Jack Snowball, 14 carries, 121 yards. So Jack is only 48 yards from that 2,000 yards rushing mark on the season. He needed 169 coming into tonight, and Alec was 2 of 5 for 25 yards.
Watch onside kick here.
Into no man's land, it bounces up high. Scott Campbell with it to the 27.
Good job by Campbell to feel that kick. And
you get those true bounces on the turf.
You do, and they were looking for that open area to try to maybe get on that football. But, you read the stats of the first half, and again, I've said it several times here tonight. This does not look like a 2-9 football team, John. They've really improved, and they played a great first half. They shortened the half, and they're just a touchdown behind here, and they're in the hunt.
And here's Jack Snowball. And as we all know, it's all season how he gets better as the game goes on.
And we hope we see that tonight now, and that's really what needs to happen. Grizzlies got the ball first here in the second half, and they've got to take control of the football game with that big offensive line and physical offensive line. With the running of Jack Snowball, they got to get down to business right here.
Yeah, he only had 14 carries first half. He had 37 all game last week. First 2 carries. Now, nice tackle by the Knights. Number 7, Austin Petit.
They've done well tonight, too. Their secondary, Petit and Riesbeck and Rodriguez, they've done a great job coming up and making short tackles. And, we mentioned now they're playing the outside linebackers right up on the line of scrimmage in that 4-4 defense, so it really makes it look like a 6-2. And they are just doing a nice job defensively.
3rd and 2. Back to Snowball, big hole on the left, got the first down, blocking downfield, running down 40, 30, stuttering to the 20, and inside the 20, he's finally chased down by Evan Dalzell, the junior linebacker.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When they have so many guys at the line of scrimmage now, if they do miss a tackle in the secondary, like right there, then that's the trade-off. Once Jack gets past the safety right there, there's a lot of room, and he takes full advantage of it.
Well, and Jack Snowball now over 2,000 yards on the season with 175 already on the night. Breaks out of a couple more tackles here and shoved back at the 14. So,
yeah, that's something. Over 2,000 yards, and you mentioned just joining. Drew Jones is the only Grizzly runners to go over 2,000 yards in a season.
Yep.
Very impressive.
Jack came into tonight 1,831 yards rushing. He's now at 2,010 and more on the season.
Another nice tackle there by safety Austin Petit. But, whenever you hit 2,000 yards rushing in a season, it really is not only a tribute to the running back, Jack Snowball, but the offensive line and the coach. I know Coach Sean Flaherty just does a wonderful job with that offensive line, and it's so much of his knowing who you block and what looks and your technique that you're taught, and these guys have just done a great job all year.
First down inside the 5 for Wadsworth.
You mentioned the fullback blocking, and you also have to mention the receivers blocking, John, because they're doing a good job. If you have long runs, you got the receivers blocking downfield as well. So just a great job by the whole Grizzly offense this year with their rushing attack, and certainly Jack Snowball.
And no one else has touched the ball this drive. Got the full house back there now, but Boffman will get this touchdown for the Grizzlies. And here's a replay on it. Bret Boffman's 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yep, and again, you see the defense stretch out as they watch Jack Snowball run wide right there, and he becomes the decoy, and you get some defenders following him. Bret Boffman going north-south, getting in the end zone, and great drive there for the Grizzlies. Just what they needed to do to take control of this football game.
Clay Smalley looking to go 3 for 3 on the night. And he does by booming that one through. So Jack Snowball, 26 rushing touchdowns on the season. Bret Boffman, 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. The Grizzlies as a team now with 40 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's 4 a game.
That's another good number right there. I'll tell you, that's something when you think of 40 rushing touchdowns. So, all right, Grizzlies getting ready to kick off. And now again, remember the Knights do all kinds of stuff with their kickoffs. And they have reverses. They run that play, John, where they throw the ball, where they start running to one side of the field and throw the ball, a la the Music City Miracle kickoff play that happened years ago in the pros for a touchdown, game-winning touchdown. But these guys do all kinds of stuff with the kickoff return and with special teams, so there's got to be heads up and ready for anything here. Should get a look at the Nordonia cheerleaders. Great halftime show by both bands tonight.
Up at the 13-yard line, a huge seam there for Jordan Nobles, and Chester Foth there to knock him out at the 40, but a great return there by the sophomore Nobles.
Yeah, nothing fancy here. They just found a seam, but again, when you do all that crazy stuff on kickoff that I'm sure all week, the coaching staff, stay in your lanes, make sure they commit before you close into the football and all that, and it kind of helps you from just if you take a normal kickoff approach right there as it did. But it's nice to have Chester Foth back as your safety there on the kickoff, because he's a sure tackler and he's somebody that can knock a runner out of bounds.
Juwan Peterson playing his final game as a Nordonia Knight, the senior running back.
Short pickup right there, about 1 yard. So as the defense now has got to do their part here to take control of this game in the second half. Being faced with a good field position challenge here, the defense has got to rise up and
the Grizzly defense, they've been close to a couple of sacks here tonight. They had 5 of them last week in the win over Highland. Peterson again, stuffed.
Nice tackle by Bret Boffman right there. We talked about him quite a bit on offense tonight, but he does a nice job on defense too at that middle linebacker spot. Plugging up the middle, attacking downhill, making plays at the line of scrimmage as he did right there. Absence of Ryan Wise, Mitch Gordon playing quite a bit there at the outside linebacker spot tonight.
Yeah, Ryan Wise tied for second in tackles on the team coming into tonight. Almost pass incomplete. I mentioned earlier Boffman came in 62 total tackles. Then Edwards, Tyler Perry, and Ryan Wise all tied with 53 tackles.
That's what you like to see. You like to see a number of defenders being active and having around the same. All you got to watch here on fourth down, having similar numbers in your tackle totals. But I'd look for him to do something here, some kind of fake. Or
punter Ryan Bauer going back to punt it. Standing at the Nordonia 40.
They're going to go motion. They're flipping around the formation. Look at this.
It's 4th and 9. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And then the timeout is called.
Yeah, and the up guy, is that the quarterback? Is that
Grizzlies call the timeout?
Yeah, you got Tyler Alders right there at the quarterback
Take
spot.
the direct snap. Yep.
Yep. He can pass it. So Grizzlies want to be sure that they line up correctly and that they're ready for anything right here. And Nordonia, your coach is talking to the teams. I'll tell you, Boy, that's impressive. The Nordonia coach is wearing shorts tonight, John.
Jeez.
Wow. It is a chilly night here. Whatever they're cooking up, I'm sure talking about it quite a bit.
Well, we mentioned how Nordonia has joined the Suburban League in all sports, and they've actually...
Well, here they are. They got a guy split now again, number 4 split. He told the referee, showed him where his spot was.
And Alder's in the shotgun.
Yeah.
See, he may just pooch a little punt.
He could do that, or he's going to throw
Yep,
it.
he's backing up.
All right, now they're going punt. They're spread, and the Grizzlies have all the receivers covered here. That's what he's going to do.
Yep. He booms one, hits at the 9 and rolls, and a nice save there. Nope, they're going to say number 4, Nick Rezick, was in the end zone when he touched it.
Well, it was a nice punt, though. That was certainly could have been down inside the 10. So Grizzlies back on offense. Now they got to do what they did last time. Just go right down that field, running the football. Again, establishing their dominance at the line of scrimmage.
Nordonia replacing Barberton in the Suburban League, which opted to become independent for the time being. A lot of conference shifting in college football. Jack Snowball upended there, so not as much room in high school to maneuver around. And the Knights are actually, Roger, rejoining the Suburban League after having left it more than 30 years ago. So it's the second time Nordonia's been in the Suburban League. After this play, I'll finish that thought. 2nd and 8 for Wadsworth. And it's Jack Snowball, stopped by Rodriguez at the 25. In 1949, Nordonia, Copley, Hudson, Manchester, and Green founded the conference.
That's interesting. I didn't know that they had one time been in the Suburban League.
And then the Knights left for the old Metro League in 1973.
The Grizzlies really need to take control right here now. Have good opportunity if they can get another touchdown on the board.
6 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Snowball stiff arms to get around the end. Fights for the first down, and he's, boy, just a bit short maybe.
He's going to be shy on this right here. So Grizzly punt team's going to come out. But yeah, in terms of their facilities and in terms of being good in a number of sports.
Yeah, and they're up and coming here in football. We'll be playing them here in a couple of years, and they'll be one tough cookie.
Yeah, they will be.
So Foth in there to punt it, averaging 38 yards per punt this season. A long of 50, and he's plopped 7 of them inside the 20.
It's a good punt here.
It's at the 35. Rolls up and then fumbled after being touched by number 29, Alex Alders, the freshman, and it's recovered by senior Nick Curvin.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Freshman mistake right here. He just should have
let that go.
Yeah. He thought about it late, and then watch, he takes his eyes off it to look up to see how much room he has, and just drops the ball right there. And Nick Curvin does a great job hustling to the football, covering that thing up for the Grizzlies, and now they are in a very good position now to get into the end zone. Ball's on the 28-yard line, and see if they can put this one away.
Well, we know what's going to happen here. And there it is. To the 26, Snowball with 2 yards.
Yeah, the Grizzlies can just spring him loose here another time. And
next carry, he'll be over 200 on the night, 199 rushing for Jack, so averaging 203 per game is Jack Snowball, so he's going to hit that and more. Alec rolling out to throw, has a receiver, but jumping up and intercepting Alex Riesbeck, the senior cornerback. And man, you knew coming into this one you weren't going to be able to pass much on Riesbeck and Rodriguez, and here's the reason why.
Yeah, they are good. I'll tell you, they're good in the secondary, very athletic, and they're good in coverage. Look at that, just they're dropped off in the zone. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. They go after the football once it's in the air, and they've just done a nice job tonight with their whole secondary, tackling and coverage and everything.
Saw in the flat there, Bret Boffman was wide open there, but Alec looking downfield further there for Simi, and they turn it right back over to the Knights. They're pinned deeper than they've been all night.
Yeah, Grizzly defense back on the field now, and if they can get a stop, pin them deep and get the ball back.
Five total turnovers in this ball game tonight. 3 for Nordonia, 2 for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies all over that run play, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Knights.
Good job by the defensive front there. Mitch Gordon came out with the football, but nice push up front there by the Grizzlies. And now again in a position 3rd and long. And the Grizzlies can get some heat. And see if they can get some heat on Alders here, and if nothing else, maybe force an incomplete pass and get back on the field with the offense. Where's their good receiver? Rodriguez is split out
down here one-on-one
right.
with Nate Winkler right down to our left. And it's the toss to Jordan Nobles. Grizzlies all over that one, so the Knights will be punting from their own end zone.
Nice play by Nick Miller out there on the perimeter that time, and now the Grizzlies are should get good field position here. And Nate Winkler's going to drop back deep. And they're going to be in that spread punt formation.
Has averaged about 9 yards per punt return this season.
Now they're going to shift in their formation, bring the wings in.
Winkler from the 35 takes it up the middle. Good punt return for a touchdown. Nate Winkler, the senior, with the return on the punt for a touchdown. He almost lost it, then secured it and saw that hole up the middle.
That's a great
and
punt
then
return.
cut it to the right.
Yeah, and he made that first guy miss, then he got north-south in a hurry and ran by a few tacklers, and boy, what a nice run. He accelerated once he saw that opening and takes it to the house. So big play there by Winkler. And Grizzlies up 27-7.
First punt return for a touchdown for the Grizzlies this season, and Smalley misses his first. It was a line drive low. Not sure if someone got in there or not, or if he just miskicked it. I think he miskicked it. Just didn't get any air underneath it, but punt return for a touchdown for Nate Winkler on his 11th punt return of the season. So Grizzlies have one kickoff return for a touchdown, Jack Snowball, earlier in the season, and the first punt return for a TD, Nate Winkler.
Yeah, great job there by the Grizzlies special teams, Nate Winkler. And two nice plays by the special teams, coming up with a fumble off the muff punt, and then the nice punt return there after the defense held.
Again, Grizzlies get this win tonight, secure themselves a playoff spot for next week. That game would be next Saturday night. And other Wadsworth opponents still in the mix as far as playoffs go. Talmadge, they are sitting third in Division II Region 5. A little throwback there on the kick return from Rodriguez to Alders, and nothing doing. Grizzlies there to stop it.
There it is. That's the play that we talked about. They had run that earlier. So you start the kickoff return one way, and then you wing it over to the other side of the field and try to find a seam, but the Grizzlies special teams had none of it.
So Talmadge third, they're pretty much in. They got Green tonight. That's the game Wadsworth needs Green to win in order to share the Suburban League title. Highland sits fifth in Division II Region 6 after the loss to Wadsworth. They need to beat Cloverleaf tonight to secure themselves a playoff position. And Ashland, Division II Region 7, sits seventh. So the Arrows could get in. First down receiving there to number 4, Nick Rizek.
Yeah, we knew Ashland was a better football team than they showed when we played them earlier in the season. That was one of the deals. Remember, they had a new quarterback, and were just trying to find their way with that offense that they run. But it looks like they found it.
Two minutes remaining, third quarter. Alders now deep under center. Fakes the handoff, then pitches it out to Jordan Nobles. Grizzlies reading that option play well.
Yeah, played nicely by C.J. Edwards. And Nick Seamy doing a good job out on the perimeter now. And there it is. If you force the quick pitch, at least you got all the white jerseys running to the football. You know where it's going. And C.J. made a nice play right there, supported by outside linebacker Nick Seamy. Bring up a 2nd and 10 here.
Alders throws, open Rodriguez, a little bit out of his reach, but he had Winkler beat.
Yeah, just had a little bit of separation, and there was a pretty tight window that Alder would have had to fit that one in. But now it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. See if the Grizzlies can get some pressure now on Alder.
And he's probably going to throw the ball here from the shotgun. He's 6 of 12 for 90 yards through the air tonight. Drops way back, looking to throw. Just fires one up out of bounds over the head of the Wadsworth bench.
Yeah, running I don't know what they were running, screen or draw or something, but they had a number of linemen that were downfield on that one. So looks like Alders just threw that one away now. 4th down, and again, Grizzlies got to be heads up and aware right here. By 20 points with 1 minute left in the third quarter, they got nothing to lose.
This one off, and the Knights down it at the 33-yard line, but they'll give it a couple of years. This Knights team should be back to being one of the perennial power teams in the area, and they'll be a great addition here to the Suburban League. Nordonia had made 7 playoff appearances over the last 12 years, and I mentioned earlier reached the state championship game in 2002.
Yeah, they've had some very good teams, and you mentioned some of the great players that have come through Nordonia. So, yep, there'll be some good games over the years here between the Knights and the Grizzlies.
Last minute of the third quarter, and Jack Snowball just tripped up at the last second by number 42, Alex Wasahovich, the 6', 200-pound sophomore linebacker.
One of their good young players there,
Yep.
just a sophomore.
Jack Snowball now 206 yards rushing, 2,037 on the season, and he's got a shot, Roger, to break Drew Jones' single season record. If not here tonight, he'd still need a lot here tonight, but next week in a playoff game, if he can have a good one.
How many does he need for that?
Let's see, he's at 2,037, and Drew Jones' record is 2,281. He set that in 2007. So Jack would need 244 more yards to break the single season rushing record. End of the third quarter, 27-7. So just more fun numbers to keep track of next week. If,
It is, and we don't know how much longer he'll be in the game here tonight.
Right.
Moving into the fourth quarter with a big lead right
Another
here.
score here, he may come out and
It certainly has a shot at it. You know, if he gets a long run, if he breaks a long run off here.
well, and just thinking ahead, what ifs and whatnot and whatever, doesn't matter, just for fun. How about a Jack Snowball, Briante Dunn running back matchup next week?
That's a good running
The
back.
Ohio State recruit from Glen Oak. We saw him a couple of years
Yeah,
ago
when
as
he
a
was
sophomore.
Yeah.
And the Grizzlies played them in a first-round playoff game. And there goes Jack Snowball, just lifting the feet up out of tackles and taking it all the way down to the 32-yard line of the Knights.
Yeah, so maybe not one long run, but maybe a couple shorter runs right here. And you know, he's racking up some more yards. Let's see what they do now. The ball's on the 32-yard line.
And that Dunn is a big fella.
Oh, he is big and fast. He was big as a sophomore. Remember,
Yeah,
he weighed
he's
like
bigger
225.
now, and you can see why our beloved have recruited him. He's going to probably be a good one.
Our beloved could use him.
Yeah, especially tomorrow night against Butthead and gang.
The Bucky the Badger.
Yeah, you know their head coach. You could do the split screen separated at birth. Coached by Lima and Butthead. It's pretty cool. Any rate.
The creative mind of John Bernard.
Yeah, 2nd and 6. Jack Snowball tripped up at the 25, but another first down. Nice tackle by Alex Alders, the freshman. He is going to be a good one.
Again, nice lead block there. Isolation, fullback on linebacker. Big on big up front. And does a nice job. Jack hits the hole and off he goes. So we'll see if they can get it in the end zone here, and that'll probably be the end of the night for a lot of these guys on offense.
That was,
Boffman.
yep, Boffman. See big Derek Mackey, the tackle coming up off the pile there, 6'3", 274.
Yeah, the Grizzlies got some good size up front. Boy, just with Paladar and Mackey and Tavanello, and you know, John Roberts isn't really that big. Hamlin's got good size. And, they're just physical and not just big. They're good.
Boffman again.
Boy, he just got a great block on Alex Wasahovich right there. And again, they just can't say enough about the tight end Nick Seamy and Tyler Perry, and just a great offensive line this year. And Give those guys a lot of credit.
Snowball lowering the boom into the end zone. Jack Snowball. And a 7-yard touchdown, giving him 3 more touchdowns on the season. He now has 27 rushing touchdowns.
And that's just a great example right there. How, you know, the offensive line gives him the ability and the chance to get a head of steam going. And if no one's laying a glove on him until he's 2 or 3 yards into the defense, they're in trouble because he is hard to bring down when he gets a head of steam going.
And now Clay Smalley rights the ship in the extra point department, making that one to make the game 34-7. So see Jack Snowball, if his night's over or not, he has 251 yards rushing on the night, and he is now 199 away from the school record for most yards in a season.
Yeah, it's certainly doable, although whoever we face in the playoffs next week is likely to have a very solid defense.
And a defense that will practice the entire week focusing on stopping number 5 of Wadsworth.
Yeah, but practicing to stop it,
and
then
doing
actually stopping it, everybody.
You can't simulate Jack Snowball.
Nor that offensive line blocking for him. And you know, undoubtedly they'll have their work cut out for them from now on, because whenever you get in the playoffs, everybody's good. Everybody is capable of beating anybody. So look at that back flipping girl. That's awesome.
All right, Foth to boot it. Another low line drive, hits at the 18. Into the corner it goes, and
what? It's our ball.
The referee saying the ball looked like it was still rolling. Are they going to say it was touched or it stopped? And a flag.
They're saying out of bounds. Yeah. He wasn't
that
sure.
was awful late.
That was awful
Here it
late.
is.
Now you could just tell. Let's see, because he's
There's
looking at it.
Rodriguez. Should I pick it up? Should I let it go out of bounds? And the nose did go out of bounds there.
He didn't see it. Then he tried to pick it up.
Right, but the ref was there.
Yeah,
he had the arms ready to go before Rodriguez.
And it looked like Mr. Steve Moore was right there as well to help the referee make that call. But
I'm sure
Steve might have tried to
urging
talk
him the other way.
Saying it was inbounds. But yeah, good play there. The Grizzlies almost came up with a big one there, because that is a live football as long as it's in the field of play.
Knights down 34-7. Might want to think about throwing the ball. 9:25 to play in the game.
Yeah, they have thrown it pretty well here at times tonight, but looks like they're just content to run the clock a little bit. Got a few more things and get some of these guys, young guys, ready for next year.
Fake and Tavanello all over that one. Big Nick says nothing.
Good penetration right there. Look at that. Forces Alders back. Nowhere to go. Black running now with 8:23 left.
Now Alders looking to throw it over the middle. Sends a line drive. Chester Foth gets his second interception of the night and a great return.
Great job there by Chester Foth, just playing center field now. Staying deeper than the deepest, reading the quarterback's eyes. He tries to come back over the middle late. And again, the ball just sailed on him. And Chester did a good job running to the football, catching it, and then taking it down the sidelines. So we'll see now. Looks like Martise Jackson's going to be in at the tailback spot. Nick Miller comes in at the fullback spot. It's like Connor Van Fleet's in there at one of the guard spots now.
Well, and two interceptions on the night for Foth. He's now got 6 interceptions on the season. The Wadsworth record for most interceptions in a season is 7, held by Mike Held, 1979. So Chester Foth will have another game to tie that. 7:10 left in the ball game. Now Martise Jackson in there. Jack Snowball's night is over.
Hayden Frisbee also in there at one of the guard spots, along with Connor Van Fleet, number 64.
Ball is at 6-yard line. Fourth down and 4.
So Grizzlies just taking their time now in the huddle, letting that clock run. 6 minutes, 37 seconds left. And again, they'll be waiting this weekend, then playing the waiting game to see who they're going to be matched up with in the first round of the playoffs.
Yep. All you diehard viewers out there will already know who the Grizzlies are playing next week. We don't, as we're doing this game live to tape right now, but we'll be there and bring it all to you in case you can't make it or want to rewatch. Martise Jackson, 4 yards a carry this season, a couple of rushing touchdowns, and the future of the Wadsworth offensive backfield.
Yeah.
Alec,
Look
Martise, yep.
Screen graphic there on WCTV on demand.
My.pegcentral.com. You can rewatch the entire Grizzly football season.
Nice carry by Jackson. He's going to be close to the first down on 4th down. See if he got it or not. It's going to be awful close.
They've already got it changed on the scoreboard to first down, and they're going to measure. It'll give us a chance to look at the other ball games going on as far as Wadsworth opponents are concerned tonight before we finish this one out. Who we can maybe get a few more computer points from. Let's see, the excuse me, Ashland Arrows playing at Lexington.
First down.
Yep. Ashland at Lexington, 16th first down of the night for the Grizzlies. Ashland looking to stay alive in the playoffs. Worcester at Orrville.
Oh, it'll be a good game.
And Medina at Brunswick. Week 10 always rivalry week.
Tough one for the Bees. Nick Miller on the carry. Also, we saw the WCTV graphic. They do have the voting going on right now for the Clapper Awards. Go to the city website and get on the Clapper voting graphic that they have. Just click on that. You can vote for your favorite WCTV shows.
And then the Suburban League rivalry week. We just got word that Twinsburg is beating Mentor 37-14.
Holy smokes. Boy, if you've seen Mentor play this year, they are tough. So I don't know what happened to the Cardinals tonight, but hats off to the Twinsburg Tigers here for a great game.
Let's see, rivalry week in the Suburban League. Cloverleaf at Highland, Revere at Copley, Talmadge at Green as always. And Wadsworth lost their rivalry opponent, Barberton, So they, of course, pick up their replacement, the Nordonia Knights. And again, for the Suburban League, Wadsworth would need green to have upset Talmadge tonight, and they would share the Suburban League title with the Blue Devils. A lot of you watching may already, of course, know the outcome of that game. Martise Jackson spinning, running to the 10.
Another first down there for the Grizzlies. Should catch the replay right here. Byron Brown in there leading at the fullback spot. Defensive lineman doing a good job, and a nice spin move there by Martise. Falling ahead for another Grizzly first down. John mentioned the clapper voting going on now.
Yep.
Got to cast your ballots for your favorite programs. Mine, of course,
Polka
you know.
Time Again.
Polka Time Again. One of the greatest shows ever in the history of television. Gene and Joe are masters. TV production.
The Grizzlies were no gain on that play. 3:15 to play.
A good opportunity here for Martise Jackson to get some more carries and more experience.
Quick game tonight. This just approaching the 2-hour mark total for this game with halftime. Martise going to get another give here, trying to cut it up, but can't. And a nice tackle there made by number 10 of the Knights, Alex Riesbeck, the cornerback.
Wasahovich over there again, sophomore. And Martise Jackson will probably be meeting a few times on the gridiron before their careers are over in high school.
So the Nordonia Knights with 7 points here tonight, which is about their average on the season per game. If they don't put any more points on the board tonight, they will finish the regular season as Campbell gets the carry. Scott Campbell, touchdown! Scott Campbell with his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Great job. Look at this move right here. Look at that.
Little Barry Sanders
Yeah,
there.
he sure did. Made a couple guys miss, and he saw the crease up the middle and hit the gas pedal, put the pedal to the metal, took it north-south, and got in the end zone. Nice run.
Yep, with 2:09 to play in the game. If the Knights don't score any more points tonight, they will finish the regular season having scored 75 points in 10 games. And my Wadsworth High School diploma math tells me that's 7.5 points per game.
Yeah, that's certainly not what you need to have, but they did a good job at times tonight. They kept the game closer in the first half. And again, a lot of good young players that will be back for this Knights team.
Thanks to the whole crew tonight. Great job on camera all night by Phil Dell, Colin Wright, and Christopher the intern there down on the sidelines, and our guy in the truck, John Maddock, keeping things under control. So great job all season, guys, and we'll see you from somewhere next week.
See you from somewhere. Yep. And always those guys are hardworking out there in the elements. While you and I sit in this nice press box. Phil Dell and Colin Wright up on the roof without the benefit of a space heater.
And chicken wings.
Nordonia cookies. Great job by the crew. Our statisticians, as always, John Thompson.
John Gamuglia.
The legendary
Bollian Stadium press box security.
Doing the press box security, Mark Carr at Bollian Stadium, as he does in Art Wright Stadium and every other stadium that he travels with us to.
Wadsworth coach is heading out of the booth down to the field for a little victory celebration. It won't last long, though. Got to get ready for the big playoff game next week.
Yeah, and that's a little different in and of itself there for the preparation. Now, the coaches don't get the films, John, until Saturday. So normally the normal work day for the coaches is Saturday. They work all day. They come in but they're in there by 7 o'clock breaking down the film and
brewing a little coffee.
Oh, brewing a lot of coffee. Yeah, brewing a lot of. They probably brewed more coffee when I was coaching, but yeah, they'll break that. Now they won't get the film until Sunday and probably Sunday afternoon, so they'll watch
just because the game next week isn't until Saturday.
Yeah, and they'll have to exchange. You got to create an exchange with
the other team,
so
right?
Usually that'll happen sometime.
Well, yeah, you're
Sunday.
right. You won't officially know until Sunday afternoon who your opponent's going to be, but you'll pretty much know tomorrow.
Right, and then you got to watch this nice hit right
once
here.
You get the official word on Sunday.
Yeah, nice hit with Brad Virgin in there. You can tell who the defensive lineman is.
Then you start your on-field practices Monday.
Yeah. So then on Sunday night, the Grizzly coaches will meet and start breaking down the film, and that'll also go into Monday, and then by Monday practice, you got to be ready to go with your scouting report and everything. So a lot of work and preparation goes into it.
So will the kids then practice Monday through Friday?
They will, and that's the thing. By Monday, the coaches will have enough together that they'll be able to show them the basics of what they do, and then the kids will watch.
Goes on.
And then the kids will watch and film, and then you got to remember, then you get an extra day on Friday. Then you got an extra day of prep on Friday to bring things together for the playoff game on Saturday. So yeah, it is an interesting dynamic. And then of course playing on Saturday night is a whole nother dynamic, because that's something you never do. So you got to have a plan.
It's not a day that the kids had to get up and go to school.
Right. And you always worry about that. You got to structure it, otherwise they're going to sleep in and.
Last play of the game is stopped by the Grizzlies as a backup quarterback, Gino Spadaro, got in there, and the clocks read 0. Wadsworth comes out victorious 41-7 as they score a ton of unanswered points here in the second half. It was 14-7 at the half, folks.